Have you ever wondered what your pet is thinking, or wondered what they're feeling or what they're going through and wish they could tell you? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you some steps to help you be able to communicate psychically with your pet. Hello, I'm Wendy, Rapp, spiritual life coach and psychic tarot reader. On this channel, I help you as a spiritually awakened person grow and evolve on your soul's journey. And if you enjoy information like this, hit the subscribe button because I upload a new video every Sunday. All animals, especially our pets, are very psychically entombed. And the shared bond that we have with them is going to make it easier for you. That love is going to make it easier for you to be able to communicate with them. Now, some people are born with this gift of being able to communicate with animals, but like any other psychic gift, it is something that can be improved upon and developed with intention, patience, and meditation. What are the benefits of being able to communicate with your pet? Well, you can help them heal any emotional or behavioral issues. You can get to the core of those issues with them. You can help them heal past traumas and abuse. If they have health issues, you will have better insight into their issues to help the doctors when you take them to the vet. And you can also give them information about changes in your schedule, or if you're moving or you're going to be traveling or away for a while, that may help calm the pet. Years ago, years before I even thought I was going to open up psychically, I had a cat named Windsor who one night as I'm getting ready to go to bed, he's sitting on the bed looking very calm and serene. And when I walked into the room, we locked eyes. And when we did, I heard him in my head say, "I need to go to the vet. 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. I need to go to the vet." Now, I heard his voice in my head, and I knew it was his voice, so loud and clear, it shocked me. I've never, up to that time, had anything like that happen to me before. So I was a little freaked out by it, and I kind of slowly backed out of the room and thought, am I losing my mind here? And I went back into the room and looked at him again and locked eyes again. And when I did, this time I heard his voice again say, "I have to go to the vet now." And I got that feeling in my core that people who are psychic understand, or people who are intuitive understand, that feeling that's telling you, yeah, I got to do it. You get the chills, you get that vibration. I don't know how else to describe it. And I snatched him up and took him to the vet, the emergency vet, 10 o'clock at night. Walked into the vet, and the vet, and mind you, all during this, he's sitting there calm as can be, nothing's wrong. And the vet asked, "What's wrong with your pet? Why are you here?" And I said, "I don't know, but something's wrong." And a good vet will always listen to the owner. So the vet put a stethoscope in, he starts listening to my cat, and all of a sudden there was a look of panic on the man's face. And he snatched my cat up and ran to the back of the hospital, said, "I'll be back," and ran to the back of the hospital to do I don't know what. But 45 minutes later, he came out and said that my cat had some kind of a heart condition that was called a silent killer in cats, and most people have no idea their animal's even sick, and they wake up one morning and little Fluffy is dead in the middle of the floor. So he asked me, "How did you know that he had that problem? How did you know he was sick?" Now, at that time, I was not open psychically, and I certainly wasn't going to say anything to somebody about me hearing him talking to me. The man asked me 6 times, getting strong and more insistent each time, "How did you know? There had to be some reason, something he gave you as a warning to let you know." And I just kept saying, "I don't know, I just knew," which wasn't a total lie. But being able to tap into or be open to communication with my pets actually helps save my cat's life. It's the kind of information all of us would love to have with our pets. They can't speak to us, so learning to tap in can be very rewarding and can be very helpful for you. That experience with Windsor actually literally saved his life, and it made me want to learn more about how I could communicate at will with my animals. So how can you learn to open up and develop your abilities to be able to do the same. Well, the first thing you need to remember is that the information you're going to receive is very subtle. Our communication with them is going to be telepathic, and our animals are very good at being able to pick up our thoughts and our feelings, but we're the ones who are going to have to work at it. So the first step is to make sure that you and your pet are in a very calm and relaxing atmosphere. Even if your pet is sleeping, that's fine, they will hear you. But make sure the atmosphere is calm, relaxing, and meditative for you. And then set the intention and the desire to be able to communicate with your pet. The second thing you're going to do is just feel all the love you have for that pet. Put it in your heart chakra. Just feel it, strongly feel it, and then send that love to your pet. Then say your pet's name telepathically in your mind, and say it a few times to get your pet's attention. Do it gently, no yelling in your head, do it gently. All you have to do is say it a few times to get their attention. And while you're saying the pet's name, visualize the pet in your mind as well. Then ask your pet, and trust me, even if the pet's not looking at you, they're listening to you, so trust that. They don't have to be looking at you. But then ask the pet, well, what would you like me to know? Or is there anything you would like me to do for you? Give yourself a few moments to allow yourself to receive that information. Now, you're going to receive something, I guarantee it. You're going to think you're making it up. You're going to think, this is baloney, that can't be right. What you need to do when you receive whatever the information is trust it. Trust what you are receiving. Once you've received the information, then acknowledge to your pet, again, telepathically, that you have received or heard, this is the information I heard, you want another treat. And you can continue asking questions to your pet, but always trust what is going to feel like your imagination to you. Even psychic ability, when it starts coming through, it feels like you're making it up. It's your imagination. You have to learn to trust that process. If you want to know how your pet is feeling, or you're thinking that maybe your pet may not be feeling well, then what you do is you actually feel yourself as that animal's body. And when you're in that meditative state, thinking of that pet, sending that pet love, and then feeling yourself as if you were in that pet's body, kind of scan and see where you might be feeling some discomfort. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to try to diagnose anything. If you feel there's some discomfort somewhere in this animal's body, then please take this animal to the vet and let the vet diagnose it. And always remember to enter any kind of a session you do with your pet without judgment. Now, sometimes a pet can say something you may not want to hear, or it may upset you a bit, but they are communicating openly and honestly with you. So withhold any judgment, don't get upset by anything you hear, instead just acknowledge what you received from the pet. Also allow the pet to decide or determine how long the session's going to be. If they talk with you only a few minutes but then they're done, honor what they're feeling. And some pets are just like people. They sometimes are in a mood where they don't want to talk to anyone. So you need to honor that. If they don't want to talk with you, you can still pick up on their mood and what they're feeling, even if they're not directly communicating with you. And do these techniques actually work? Well, a few years after my cat Windsor died, I had another cat, Frankie, and we lived in an apartment where he would have freedom to run around the apartment at night when I'm sleeping. And one morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, I heard all this clanging going on. There was a clothesline outside my kitchen window, and all this clanging. We're up on the second floor. And all of a sudden, he comes racing across the bed and goes hiding under a piece of furniture. He stayed in hiding for over 24 hours, and I was really getting concerned. I mean, I had to put his food dish under there, that sort of thing. Would not come out for anything. So I was at the time reading a book by Sonia Fitzpatrick, who had a TV show on Animal Planet called The Pet Psychic, and I decided to use these techniques to find out what spooked Frankie. And when I went into the meditation and started talking with him, it was really very wonderful and very odd, because all of a sudden I was in his body, sitting on the kitchen windowsill, looking down at the clothesline. And there was, from his perspective, not my perspective, I'm a tall woman, I'm 5'9", and when I usually look out that window, it's a much higher perspective. But I was down on the windowsill, and I could see a buck, a deer, came onto the property, got its antlers caught in the clothesline, and as it was trying to free itself, it was hitting with its hooves the metal bar that was holding the clothesline in place, and made a big racket, and it scared the bejesus out of poor little Frankie. So once I received that information, and I thank Frankie, I let him know he's safe, that animal stays outside, he stays inside, it's never going to get him, he can come out. And believe it or not, he did at that point. Then I had another question for Frankie. He did something kind of naughty, and I thought, well, now that I got this communication going, let me try it. And as I'm trying to find out why he did that naughty thing he did, he shut down. Nope, don't want to talk about it. But the funny thing is, I had another cat named Callie in the house, and all of a sudden I felt myself switch to her, and information came through her from her perspective, watching Frankie do this naughty thing. So I did get the answer. But it's really fascinating when you study these techniques and you work with them and you do it with intention, meditation, and it does take work, it takes time, but it's fascinating and it's wonderful to be able to open that line of communication with your pets. I'll put up a picture of Sonia's book right here. You can still find it on Amazon. This book was written a while ago, but the techniques still work, and really I recommend you try practicing them and then let me know in the comment section how you did with it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that information was helpful for you. If you have any questions or comments about the material we covered today or about anything else, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below, because I love hearing from you. And you can connect with me on social media. The links are also below in the description box. And if you're interested in a reading with me, I am now doing phone readings as well as in-person readings through EarthSpirit, and I will put their phone number up on the screen. And if you'd like a phone reading, you just give them a call and they can schedule an appointment for you. As always, remember, you are a spark of the divine. Share your light with the world. Blessings.